Hey, you guys. Oh my god, it's fucking not working how I want it to work. Hey, you guys, welcome to Philip Feels, another episode of my podcast. Um, this is a change of scenery for once because I was on a hike. I grabbed my laptop, I grabbed my Focusrite interface. It was raining all the time, and now it's stopped for a while, so I was thinking like let's record an episode. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about today, but when I was walking, I already walked like 12 kilometers. I have like 6 or 8 to go back home, but I ordered some food on Foodsie, so we shall see. I have to pick that up. um yeah, when I was walking on the hike, I was thinking like we could talk about queerness, about how it affected my eating disorder. But when I was thinking about it, I don't know which one came first, to be quite honest. But now that I'm thinking of it, when I was like 12 or 13, I actually had a girlfriend. Um, Her name was Kika. Shout out to you, girl. I love you. Now she's, I think, with family and stuff. So yeah, but I didn't become queer because of her. I just like um was just figuring it out. But I think it was the summer before I got in with her when I started limiting what I eat. And I don't know what it was, but now, like going to therapy, having or being on antidepressants, I feel like at the time I didn't have any way to control stuff. So what I could only hyperfixate myself on was the intake of the food. And obviously, when you are growing up, you start to compare yourself to other boys. I think the airplane is coming and the sun is out. So yeah, I think we're gonna wait. Maybe we'll hear it. I don't know, but maybe. Oh yeah, I'm near the airport, and there's like so many airplanes. Like I think in the past 2 hours, I've seen like 7 or 10. Oh my god, and I have stuffed nose now again. So yeah. Anyway, uh, I just wanted to say that I also did a photo shoot with Yanka. This was my like photo shoot after 2 or 3 years, and the pictures came out looking bomb as fuck. So if you still don't follow me on my Instagram, please, or TikTok, it's everywhere. PHILIPPHRANO, Philip Frano, everywhere on socials. Give me a follow, give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe to this, and yeah, I will just continue the story. So basically, yeah, I just didn't have any way to control my emotions, I feel like, and I didn't have any way to control outside like outside doings, like outside happenings. So the only thing I thought I could control in my life, besides my feelings, was how much food I can like take. And obviously, when you are like 12 or 13, you start to compare yourself to other boys. And like, that's why I don't know which one started first, like the queerness or the eating disorder, because like I just didn't look at the boys, I looked how they looked. And I think if I wasn't like low key drawn to that, I think I wouldn't be comparing myself that much. But I don't know. I would have to have a straight person to um like discuss a straight individual to discuss how they have it. Because in girls, I think girls like subconsciously compare themselves all the time, but because like the outside pressure and the way patriarchy works, it's like you are supposed to subvert to the male gaze. And if you don't have the male validation, and if the boys don't tease you, if they don't tell you and give you a compliment and acknowledge you as a pretty woman, this society thinks that you have no value as a woman, which is fucking stupid. And I hate how, on what values this society was built in the first place. So yeah, so it's really hard. So I don't really know how, like, if like comparing yourself to other boys, it's normal when you are also a boy, and if also boys who are not attracted to other boys are doing this. I think yes, because men are usually really competitive, and like I had this like brief discussion, no discussion, just like a chit chat with my friend, and he said like the girls are usually better friends than men, because when men see you succeeding in life, whether you have a better car, better job, better pay, better wife, better life, they tend to get jealous. Like they tend to not wish you well even though you are a friend, because I don't know why. I think it's like the insecurity, um and comparing this sort of fulfillment. Yeah, I've never had this. Like I never compete with people. I feel like I'm genuinely just like competing against myself. Whether it's like what can I achieve usually and nowadays, like how well I can feel, and like usually battling my own thoughts and feelings and trying to decompress, trying to stay alive, and trying to just live a life and not put so much pressure on myself. But yeah, so this discussion like made me think, like I don't know, like I if I have a male friend, I don't want to be competing with anybody. But I think like the tendency is usually I like a bit of rivalry, not just a heated one. But I think like healthy rivalry is good when, because this is what I also want in a partner. I just don't want anyone to uh I'm looking for someone who I can look up to and be inspired by, and like we can push each other and grow together and make each other's better, and yeah, just grow in every aspect of life together, and always pushing ourselves to another level. But I also think there is a limit. I don't necessarily think that if people are greedy, for example, that they will just want more and more and more. I think, well, depends on the individuals, of course, but I think when you have a long life dream and you achieve it, I don't think you will like create another one. I would be just so grateful that I could live in my dream, hopefully for the rest of my life, that I would never take it for granted. And obviously, yeah, there might be like more, mm, let's say, when it comes dreams, when it comes to materialistic stuff, which I can understand if you have so much money that you have, like, you don't know what to do with them. I think there comes a point where you are just so bored and burned out. But I think when it comes to like goal, like life goals, like you want to have, I don't know. For me, it always is connected to like what I would like to do and what I like to, how I would like to, um not contemplate, like add a value to society, you know. It's like connected with this, but I guess again, it depends from person to person. But yeah, mm, so yeah, I don't know. That's what I would look for in a partner. Oh my god, I feel like I'm having allergic reaction, you guys, because there were like these there were like these like flies that were bothering me all the time. But yeah, I'm so happy that I started recording here, because oh god, Be- because I always wanted to like record in like on a field, but I never had the guts, or I didn't even could recognize how I would do it in the first place. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. I'm literally having the laptop on my Fjallraven backpack and hoping that it won't get wet, or it won't start fucking raining and drizzling anymore. But yeah. So what was I saying? Oh my god, I always just like dive into deep topic, and then I cannot trail myself back to the first thought. Oh yeah. So I don't know which one was started first. I think it was mm, like a natural flow of like living in a small village, experimenting. And this is why I think I'm still bisexual, even though I only mostly like have something with men, because I just love women so much, but I don't think I could be. I don't know if I can provide them what they would men to have. I don't know. It doesn't mean that I'm not sexually attracted to some women, but I think because when I'm talking to my friends, I'm naturally like feminine, not feminine, but yeah, like leading more towards girly pop type of vibe. So I don't think like women find this attractive. Some women have their type is basically a gay man. But I've never met. Oh God, this is this is crazy. I hope my laptop will survive this condition because yeah. But yeah, it, even like my first girlfriend, I loved her, but then we parted ways because of my moral compass. She started hanging out with people that I think were bad for her, and I couldn't really. I didn't want to like be the type of person to let someone like limit someone in any way, shape, or form. So I'd rather like distance myself. This is what I do when it comes to friends, even like when some of my friends start to date people that I absolutely do not approve of, and I think they are the worst type of person for this angel sent from heaven, literally. I just let them do whatever they want to do, figure it out by themselves. If they ask me for opinion, I obviously give it, but I'd rather be out of sight than influence them or not being able to hold my tongue and say something stupid and hurt them. So yeah, but I don't know. I think it started by, again, when I was talking about male friendships, I think this started when I started comparing myself to this one specific boy from our class, because to me he was the epitome of, how do I say this without sounding weird, like the cool guy. Like he was everything I wanted to be, but I kind of wasn't, because I was this awkward, I mean funny but loud, but again feminine, like I don't know how to describe it, like this weirdo. But people liked me, but still, yeah. So I just looked up to him, and but not in like a personality type of way, but look wise. Like I think what I found out about men, they look what is under the surface as like after, like there's many, I mean, of course there are like men who only care about personality first, but from what I've seen and from what I've experienced and what I've talked about with my girl best friends, like they're very, and I am also like very surface level. Like if I like what I see, that's all that matters to me as like a first instinct, and then I like care about what is under the surface. But I try not to be like that because this is very animalistic approach. But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, so I also compare myself to a lot of men, but I don't know if I compare myself out of my insecurity, because at 13 I still didn't have fucking acne, or out of curiosity, or the social status. Maybe all of the above, to be quite honest. But yeah. So I think, but then when I looked at how like they act and how they are as a person, I was like, oh well, actually I like myself more. And this is every time I like look how people work, like how they just are, how they value certain stuff, how they behave in society. Every time I meet someone and I'm like, oh, you are cool looking, and then they are like, I see what morals they have, what values they have. I'm like, girl, I would never ever ever want to be like you. And then I'm like, this sense of self love and this sense of self dignity kicks in, and I'm like, I'm so happy the way I am. But at the same time, sometimes I wish I wasn't like me, because I feel like I fail things really, really deeply for not my own good. And I sometimes contradict myself really, really, like maybe too much for my own liking. And I don't understand my own emotions sometimes. I have a ladybug on me. I don't know if you can see her. But yeah. So yeah, but I don't know when I found out I was queer. I think like I always knew I was different, but that's why queerness doesn't necessarily mean to me that you have to be gay. I think it just feels you are like something other than the norm that is set in this binary heteronormative society, where everything and everyone just sees things as black and white, which in the real world everything is just gray, and you decide whatever is more on the white, meaning positive, or on the black, meaning negative. And again, I use this white and black as positive and negative as something that was preconceived notion of how people view on people of color, or what we are taught from very young age, or my experiences with gypsies in Chachtice, it was never positive. So yeah, it can be interchangeable. You know what I mean? You know the gist. You know the gig. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I was just always different, but I didn't know I was always gay. And this is why I more would like to label myself. If Listen, I was at the stage where I didn't want to label myself, but the people who didn't understand me, and it's always more comfortable for people within the society to label you so they can categorize where you fit in their preconceived notion of what type of person you are. If it was up to me, I would never fucking label myself. I would never have a coming out. I would never do any of those stuff, because to me, I'm always just myself. And if I have to explain to you for your own comfort who I am, then I don't want to be even friends with you. But then, like later, I understood like people will always ask me because they want to know, they want to understand more. And as I said, for them, if you put a label on something, they could more visualize and paint the full picture in their head before they get to know you. So the interaction is usually more comfortable from their side, because they feel more safe, because people usually fear what they don't understand. So when I was talking to people in like high school, that I don't want to label myself, I don't want to be categorized to anything, they were like very confused, like, no, you have to, like, no, you really should. Or like, even when I started working in Dansk, I had this friend who literally cornered me in my own accommodation, and he's like, when I told him, no, I think I'm bi, if anything, like I just like people, he said, you're clearly gay. Like these. And again, I don't blame anybody, I'm just saying, like, based on someone's approach, personality, um how do I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Traits, like some traits, people always be like, okay, you belong to here, you belong to here, you belong to here. And it's not always correct. But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I don't know which one was first. And I wonder if I would feel like, let's say not queer but normal, if um if I would have eating disorder in the first place. I think you can hear the plane, which is crazy. I hear it, but I don't see it. It's scary, scary. Ah, I see now. See, like, what? I think this is like a third one. Yeah, but these are questions. What if? I don't know what if. I'm living now, but I wanted to say that I still okay. So it was summer 2013, I think. I literally didn't even go outside almost. I was just eating per day half a roll of bread or like rojuk. I don't know, half a pastry per day, or half a banana, or half an apple, and I did this for 2 months or month and a half, and my mom noticed, and she was like, "Philip, you need to fucking start eating because you are fucking disappearing." And yeah, I was like my weight when I was 13 was like 76. Like I was a big kid. Like I was a big kid. I was skinny, then I gained a bunch of weight, and then because of the comparison of self-image I had, of the otherness combined with like I'm looking at the boys, I don't know what I'm feeling. Um I started like not eating. So my mom noticed this, and um she basically made me and forced me to watch this documentary about eating disorders. And I think it was like an interview type of documentary where they were discussing people in this facility in Slovakia, like how they treatment looks like. And she was like, my mom was very pushy. She's a heartless Aquarius woman. She was like, "Do you want to end up like this in the hospital where they force feed you?" I'm like, "No, no." And then like from that moment, because I knew and noticed how heartbroken she is by my own actions, I obviously starting eating more and more and more. But yeah, but when me and my therapies are like now noticing, like when I have a situation that I emotionally cannot process, or I'm like feeling too deeply, I tend to stop eating, or like tend to control how much I'm eating at all, because that's the only thing I can control. Like I cannot control how I feel, but I can control how much I can make myself feel even more shitty, or how much I can make myself like either overeat or not eat at all. And food is like always the easiest thing for me to reach out for, to control when I feel like I'm lacking control and like slipping away and like drowning in a sense, in my own thoughts or life in general, like the circumstances that happen, like outside sources. Uh, but yeah, and I don't know. Sometimes I mean the IBS also doesn't help, because the IBS is the natural conclusion of me limiting the intake of my food and being anxious about it. It's like everything is like everything that you do, every habit you build, every way you think, it's just like a train. Like you do this, that's why this happens, this is connected to this is connected to this, and everything is just like makes sense. um but now I just, yeah, I feel I look at the food differently. I look at the food as something that is supposed to keep you alive and gives you power to do stuff you want to do, instead of like having this sense of control and grasping for air, so you don't, you don't attach this emotional distress to food now, or at least I do. I don't anymore, which is so nice, so nice. And I remember when I was like 14, I had many friends, like not many, but I have one friend specifically in my mind. We were so dumb. We were like encouraging each other, like, I only ate this, I only ate this. And I'm like, that's not what you should be fucking proud of when you are 14 and you only had half of a banana for the day. You know what I mean? How stupid we were. And this took a long time for us to realize, like, this is not a healthy way of coping or building a positive self-image. And I think I rely too much on, if I if people, obviously everyone wants to be accepted, but I feel like I rely too much on like acceptance by males more, because I grew up being just surrounded by women and they always took me as who I am, but I always crave this validation of, yes, I know I'm different, but I want a man to like me. That's why I usually chase for partners who are not giving me like the satisfaction that I need, or like not, mm, what's the word I'm looking for? Like giving you the instant validation back, and they need to be chased. In this sense, I'm more of a man that I like when someone is like unavailable, which is so crazy because I've never been in a relationship. I think that's why. Because then when I achieve it, I'm like, okay, I'm bored. But maybe it's a Gemini thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really a walking paradox. Sometimes I fucking get bored with repetition, and then I crave excitement and adventure. But then I also want stability, and it's just hard. It's just hard sometimes to understand my own self. But it's fun. I take day by day more and more. I'm trying to be more and more comfortable with all these, not imperfection, but some people would say character flaws. I call it my indecisiveness, my fluidity, my adaptability, my way of living, because I don't even know how. So yeah, by the way, if this is sensitive topic for anybody, please, please, please go and talk to some specialists, because I never want to encourage anybody to look at food the same way I used to. And if you feel like you're struggling, or you feel like food has more power over you, or you are putting emotionally stress to how much you can eat, then seek help, because it's not normal and it's not how humans should be viewing something that literally keeps you alive. So yeah, if anything, just talk to anybody. It doesn't have to be a professional. It can be a close friend, it can be a parent. And I really appreciate my mom that day, like telling me and showing me how it affects her, not just her, but how it affects my body, how it affects everything you do, because literally if you don't eat, you will essentially die, and no one wants that. So yeah, so I think like the I think the I think the effects it had on my body is irreversible. Like I think the effects that it had on my body, you can always go back to healthy habits, but it really just takes time, and it's not as easy as getting yourself out of that rot and out of that illness, because it is an illness. But yeah, uh yeah, and that's it. I just really hope that not people, and with social media nowadays, like I now don't compare myself to anybody. I just only like look for validation when it comes to people that find me funny, because I really want to be like there. But I know I'm a good friend, so I don't know how to describe it. I just want to be the first person that comes to their mind, but that's more a narcissistic thing. Oh my god! The more you know, the more you know. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I don't tend to compare myself at all nowadays. No, not at all. Uh, yeah, for someone who was struggling so much, it's usually always like processing my emotions. I've never struggled with like a body image besides having acne. Even my height, like people make fun of it, but I would not want to be taller. I don't give a single flying fuck. Oh, look at the butterflies. Nice. Okay. So maybe in the next episode we can talk more about like queerness, how how I was viewing myself, comparing myself to other boys, and how did I come out? Who did I come out first to? Um, what and what people made a safe space for me to be myself. But that's the thing, like I was always being myself, and even like after I met some people with high school from high school, like after 2 years or something, they literally told me that like, oh, I was inspirational to them just by being myself, because I never I was not like, when we were talking I'm like, oh, he's hot, but I've never like specifically came to somebody and I'm like, I'm fucking gay. Besides when I was like 13 or 14, that I was like talking like I like both, like I'm bisexual, but yeah, I never went specifically to somebody that I like this one, I like this one, I like this one. Yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, just being yourself can get you a long way and right people will find you. So yeah, I think this was it from the episode one on the field. I hope you like this change of scenery. I really, really enjoy it, and I love that the sun is back out. I will slowly go home. I will pick up my food. I'm now obsessed with Black Clover, which is an anime that Vas recommended to me. Um, it's literally a Naruto Shippuden on steroids, and I love it. It is lacking a little bit of depth for me when it comes to fights or when it comes to storylines of certain people and characters, but it really is freaking addicting and you just cannot stop watching it. So I'm gonna watch that, and Heartstopper movie came out and I really want to watch that too. And yeah, I should exercise. Because honey, speaking of body image, I don't know why. I'm really happy about it, but I have the freaking hip fat, and I just, it doesn't look really appealing. But from the pictures I saw from with Yanka, I don't understand how I'm single, to be quite freaking honest. I'm like, my parents did many things wrong, but one thing they didn't is my face card. I'm really fucking grateful. And I was talking with Yanka, like she got 500 euros for 26th birthday. You know what I got? Did nothing. Mom, 100 euros. Like some parents actually want their kids to be alive, but I think my mom never got anything from her parents. So she's like, well, I never got anything, so you will never get anything. And I don't know. I think this is such. I'm like just crying that I didn't get anything from my parents. But yeah, I guess they trying to teach me a lesson that you have to build everything yourself. Yeah. And if you want something from your life, you have to work for it, which I'm doing. I'm trying. Hello, I'm alive. So eventually, I hope it will come to fruition. But yeah, I just want shortcuts, to be quite honest. Maybe I'll do the OnlyFans. What do I know? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Philip Feels. Again, please give it a like, give it a subscribe. And yeah, hope you have a lovely weekend. Hope all your dreams and desires are slowly coming to life. And yeah, if the topic that I was talking about affected you in any shape or form, please seek help. If you have anything to say about how I viewed my eating disorder and queerness in my early age stages of life, please comment something below, and I'll be looking forward to see you next time. Bye, you guys. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed this.